everybody. Your designers are here.
I'm Anita at Cedar Hill Farmhouse.
And I'm Yvonne at Stone Gable.
And I'm Kelly at My Soulful Home. And we've got tips and tricks and decorating advice for you today. So let's get started.
Today is episode 96. The struggle is real. His and or her decor.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It can get a little dicey sometimes.
Yes, I know some of us have husbands who really don't care what we put in our house, and others really love the input. So this should be quite interesting. But before we begin, I think whether you're a guy or a gal, you can agree on that Love Feast Shop have the most beautiful velvet pumpkins.
Hands down. They've got the market cornered on the velvet pumpkin.
I have some coming. I'm so excited about it too.
And listen, girls, I just got some and they're new. Well, first of all, I want to tell you the reason why they're so beautiful and they outshine everything else is because they use silk velvet. And what that means is as the light hits the velvet, depending on how the nap falls, you're getting beautiful variations of color.
Shimmer.
Oh, they're just so gorgeous. But now they have pumpkins that have feathers on them, like a collar around the neck of the stem. And they're all real stems. They're truly, and they have Swarovski crystals on some. They now have corn and they have acorns and strawberries, and we could go on and on. But they also have decor, which is just beautiful. But
this is some of my very favorite fall decor.
Oh, hands down.
The velvet pumpkins are just such a luxury item, and they're so gorgeous. So,
and they're not going anywhere. They're not going to go out of style. They will always look beautiful and classic, and they're a real showstopper. So we want to just tell you about this great shop, lovefeastshop.com. And we're just so happy that we have them in our homes, but also that we're happy to share them with you. So thank you so much, Love Feast Shop. All right, so let's get into this debate about his and her decor.
Well,
Anita, start, because I know you've got a story.
Yes. Well, when I first started decorating, when we were first married, the florals were really, really hot. So every room was covered with florals. And I remember at some point, Kevin was, enough with the florals. It was kind of, I was allowed to do most of the decorating without input, but he said, really, it's too much. And so, and the reality is it is his home too. So,
That's true.
I really do need to be mindful of what he wants. It's his sanctuary too.
Can I jump in and say something that I read somewhere? And I don't know who it's attributed to, but it's right on point with what Anita is saying.
Sure.
Good decorating is like good manners. It requires consideration of others.
Oh, I love that.
Is it too early for tip of the day? I
know it's right up there.
Okay.
But it would be like Bobby coming home and deciding without talking to me that he's going to fill our entire house with game heads or something.
Right. So, I think the women I think we do get frustrated when the husband voices an opinion because we feel that decorating is our
domain
thing to do, but I think it
do.
really is very respectful and very, important to consider there. And really, at the end of the day, that was not a big request. He said, please, enough with the florals. So as I replaced things, I did not put floral fabrics back in the house, and he has been very happy. And here's the thing. I have a very country French house. Our house has farmhouse touches. It has French touches. So we have a lot of curvy chairs, which can be a little
feminine,
toward the feminine side, but he's very tolerant of that. So,
but they're also draped in gorgeous linens and solid linens. Beautiful.
Oh, well, thanks. Yeah. So not florals. So here's the tip I want to throw out there is as you are decorating with consideration for your husbands, be mindful of what their hot buttons are.
Oh, that's such a good idea.
Have a conversation with your husband about what is it that he really does not like the most. So it may not be that, that it may be easier to handle than you think.
Well, in my house, Bob could care less what comes in the door. I don't think he's really ever said anything about any of my decor. When my daughter got married to Jonathan, she said, "Oh, I've got to check with him on that." And that was so foreign to me. It was like, what? I don't want him bossing you around,
Exactly.
But he has such a fabulous artistic aesthetic that he wanted to be part of that process because he is wonderful. They love paintings and posters and art, and he's so good at putting that together.
Well,
I remember he should have input.
Yeah, I remember one of my friends when we were getting married, and I was saying, "Oh, I wish Kevin was, interested in the dish," because he's like, "Whatever, who cares?" Because I was like, "Oh, I wish he was more interested in which dishes I picked out for the house and this and that." And my friend said, "Well, actually, my husband is interested," and she said, "It is so irritating. He's got an opinion about everything."
Opinions are annoying.
She said, "Be glad." And after that, I thought about it and realized she was right. And I was so thankful that really that's the only complaining I've gotten is on the floral fabric. So yay. So I'm really pretty free to do,
whatever you want.
Yes.
And, I think now that because we've gone much more neutral and we've made the house very welcoming to not only my aesthetic, but also to Bob's as well. We just added like a big nubby sisal rug to our living room, which didn't have one. It just had the hide rug. And then we put the hide rug on top of it. And Bob said, "Oh, I really like this." And I think what he liked was the texture. Because it does have the texture. I think men like a lot of texture.
Well, I do get complaints. I have gotten complaints about certain chairs not being so comfortable. So the last few chairs I've gotten were more on the comfort side.
Well, if you got a Bergère chair, he wouldn't complain.
That's right.
We actually have quite a few. So
I know you do. I know you do.
Now, let me just jump in here. Now, I'm guessing that it's one or the other. Now, game heads, is that bobbleheads or is that taxidermy?
Taxidermy.
Taxidermy.
No, he has no bobbleheads.
I was like, is it like the sports bobbleheads, like little baseball players? Is it? Okay.
No.
Got it.
No.
All right.
But he is a hunter, and we eat what he hunts. And he has a couple.
But you don't have it on the wall staring at you?
No. And actually, I asked him if he would get it, the French mount, which is basically the skull. It's really cool. And so I haven't yet, but I really have to there's 2 skulls we're going to put in a big frame and put it in our family room because they look on this very cool backing. It looks very like sort of artistic.
Well, that's
so like Georgia O'Keeffe? Like her skull?
I had the faux ones. They're made out of plaster, just the horns.
Yes.
Above my fireplace. And I got so much grief for that. People just really didn't like them.
I know.
And they weren't real. I didn't even understand.
So then just get a shelf with bobbleheads. Nobody complains about bobbleheads. Everybody likes the bobblehead.
I think if you eat meat or you have anything leather, you can't complain. We actually eat what my husband shoots.
Exactly. It's so Hemingway of Bobby. I love it. Really.
Yes. He's a manly man.
Well, I'm in Texas, so we don't roll our eyes at that.
Yeah, we don't do any. He does not do any endangered game or anything.
Oh no, of course he doesn't. I just wanted to clarify.
So you're saying that's not a real zebra skin on your floor?
I think. Oh no, I think it is a skin though. I think bobbleheads would have been a marriage deal breaker. But I would have had to have known that before, and I would have checked him out because I don't think I could have lived with those.
Well, you just never know what people when you get married, like what collections will come. Yeah, you gotta
Kevin was in
check the collections first.
He did He did all these basketball competitions.
Oh, I love a trophy.
Yes. And then there would be look, I won this trophy. And then they won all the time, which I don't even understand how they did that. But they would take turns when they would win. Who would get to take the huge trophy
like the
home?
Stanley Cup?
Yes. No. It was like 3 feet tall. So usually,
the Stanley Cup is huge.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't know. I haven't seen it in person. So usually you had the little ones, and I could stuff them, easily in the closet. I'd be like, "Oh, that's fantastic. Here, I've got a place just for that." And then when the big one came, and I was. Oh, really? He's like, it was my turn to get
what are you going to do with it? Make it a planter.
That's hilarious.
No. It's tall.
So what did you do? It's
a basketball player on a stand.
Oh, stop it.
3 feet tall.
Could you hang
plastic?
hang like
Plastic
a
covered with gold
French
paint.
market basket on his arm or something?
I said, honey, this is so wonderful. I'm really concerned about the dog breaking it. So why don't we put it in the closet
You did not
protect it? Oh, well, he saw right
Very
through it. I mean,
smart.
he's a smart guy.
Okay, so what did you do? Was it displayed?
No, it wasn't displayed. It went in the closet.
No, I have to be
He
honest
was fine
you.
with it, though.
Bob just won a golf tournament, and I said, "Where's your trophy?" And he said, "Oh, it's better than that. They give you money to spend,
that's good.
Now
to
that
spend
would
in the
be
clubhouse." And I
Oh,
went like,
that's smart.
So,
But when we
I
moved,
think
this
I would have
huge-
displayed it.
I
would have.
You would have?
Yeah, for
it
a
was
little
huge.
while.
Oh, well,
for
no,
a little
it
while,
Oh, no, I think we did. No, for a few weeks, but then it was
Yeah.
time. Right,
not
right,
for
right.
a year.
No. But then when we moved, we'd had it in the closet for 4 years. And I said, honey,
Wasn't it time to give it to the next guy?
no, you keep it forever.
Oh my goodness.
I
thought
said,
it was a
if you
shared
want to
thing.
keep it, I said, no.
Okay, well, let's get right into, because we've been telling a lot of stories. Let's give our readers a lot of tips about the decor that he will enjoy just as much as we will. And why don't who wants to start? Yeah, who wants to start?
Okay, well, I think something you said already is we can sort of clarify and codify it as a tip. Even if you like more feminine lines in your furniture, a little bit more delicate chairs or whatnot, definitely go with the solid, maybe a nubby fabric, or a darker color. I mean, generally darker colors, like my charcoal linen. If I had done that sofa in a floral chintz, it would have a completely different feel. I mean, I wouldn't like it either, but Peter might feel a little like an old lady or a little girl sitting on that. But even though it has very feminine lines in the dark charcoal and the nubby texture, it definitely is a little bit more gender neutral. And, when we're talking about, husbands or wives, this could be roommates because, if you're sharing a space with somebody and because you like them a lot or because of budgetary reasons, you're still sharing a space and you might want to decorate it. And you may not even have your own room or anybody's significant other that you're sharing a living space with. This pertains to all of that, or even siblings. I mean, just because it might be two girls that have wildly different ideas of how to decorate, but they need to share a room to sisters or brothers.
Well, here's something that is very on trend right now and beautiful, but a guy will love it. Maps.
Yeah, maps are
I
great.
love maps.
Framed maps. My husband, he goes up and studies them. He's so interested in all of that. So something like putting, instead of maybe a picture, put a beautiful framed map on your
That's a great
wall.
idea. Another thing I wanted to mention is I love to have a few painted pieces of furniture in the room. But when you have an entire room of painted white furniture, it really I think it looks very feminine.
I think you're so right,
and
Anita.
can become feeling very uncomfortable for a man. So I would recommend not going overboard on the painted furniture.
And men love wood. So make sure you have some wood and even something a little rustic.
Inevitably, with the new year come wellness goals. One very effective and easy to reach goal is to add dose to your wellness regime. Dose is expertly formulated organic wellness shots that support your liver in one delicious drink. Formulated with ingredients clinically shown to support liver health. Potent turmeric, milk thistle, and ginger. There's 0 sugar and 0 calories. Did you know that your liver performs over 500 special functions? Since I learned all that my liver is doing, I started with Dose to support all those vital functions. I take a shot of refreshing Dose 2 times per week to combat everyday toxins from food, meds, alcohol, and unhealthy air. Since starting with Dose about a month ago, I am definitely feeling an overall improvement in my health. So if you want to give Dose a shot and invest in your health like I have, Dose is offering DTT listeners 15% off your first order, plus an additional 15% off if you subscribe for a monthly delivery. That's 30% off your first order. So go to dosedaily.co/DTT and use the code DTT. That's dosedaily.co.co/DTT and use the code DTT. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quinn's. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor. And I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants.
Even if it's a small decorating table or something.
With things like old scales and old clocks, even though it's something that appeals to me as well. So there are so many design elements that you can add that men and women like.
And here's something else that will really work. Adding a couple mid-century modern pieces. My children who they both live in Washington now. But my daughter and her husband, in their home, they've collected some mid-century modern and mixed it with their classic furniture. It looks amazing. And I think it has a little bit of a masculine edge to it because it's a little more boxy, very streamlined. And I just think it has a very tailored look, which I think men enjoy.
Tailored is a great word for it. It's that's very true.
And I really think when you're looking at furniture that a guy will like as well as us, I think they prefer more tailored things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like I said, I think this is a conversation you have because there's almost always a compromise or something that's really going to make everyone happy. And maybe there's if I can put this in the room, then you can put that in the room. I mean, I think there's something that you can do.
And that mishmash of everything can really look nice, like a mashup, I guess I want to call it.
Yeah, because isn't that what
beautiful?
That's what your relationship is too. It's not
a mishmash,
one-way street, a mashup, right? So if somebody, hopefully it's not a bobblehead collection because those are hard to work into anything. But say they love baseball and they have vintage baseball cards, or they have a collection. Well, maybe you frame them beautifully and you display them that way, and so there's a little nod to that. And under it, you can have your furry, foofy Mongolian pillows, on a settee that's maybe done upholstered in a drop cloth or something like that. You can make it all work together.
I mean, even as small as my husband loves to golf. And so we have a bar cart. We also have a bar. And the bar is
what husband isn't going to love that?
Well, my husband, that's his domain, the bar. But remember, my open shelves are above that. So that's my stuff. So what we do is I bought him little golf club stirrers.
And, that's nice.
Yeah,
and that's cute.
Honey, I get the living room and the kitchen chair, and you get these stirrers, and you get the stirrers.
But he was so happy with them, and like a golf ball, like one of those round ice cubes. It's a golf ball, and really cute. Glasses that have like a golf ball etched into the bottom of them. And, we do things like that, but I try not to let that be his domain as long as it doesn't get too messy.
Well, I think that's a great idea to kind of think about what it is
Mr. Neat.
that would make them happy. So I try to think of things in the house that Kevin would like. I mean, he loves maps. Exactly. So we've got some maps in the house. And so, I'm really trying to add something.
Every once in a while, you open the closet door and let him look at his trophy.
Well, no, I'll
just leave it ajar now, Kevin, for an hour.
When we moved, he did agree to get rid of it, but it was his choice. It was not me. I did not force him.
That is so funny.
I said, if it might be time, just think about it.
It might be. How about a planked wall?
Yeah.
Whether, painted white, done naturally. They're very hot right now, on trend. And I'll tell you, they bring so much interest into a room, and they're so, so easy to do. And I think men would really like that.
Yeah, I think the key to all of it is trying to make everybody feel comfortable in their house. And sometimes, like Peter for years always said, I could live anywhere. And my thought, and sometimes I said it out loud, was, sure, you can live anywhere when you have somebody who really cares about it decorating. Like every place you've lived with me for the last...
Making it gorgeous for you.
For the last 25 years, I've really taken a lot of efforts to make it really beautiful and comfortable. So no, he has agreed that he couldn't live anywhere, and he likes where we are. And he used to have absolutely no opinions about it. And similar to Anita's wise friend, I came to realize, like, my husband doesn't want to go do this with me, or he doesn't care. And gee, I wish he really had an interest. Well, then you see a friend whose husband has an interest, and they're frozen at an estate sale because they don't know if they can buy an ottoman because so and so might not like it. I'm like, dude, it's $20. Buy the ottoman. We'll figure it out later.
The thing. So a friend of mine actually owns an antique store, and her husband is this incredible collector. He actually collects 18th century French things. And he's very fascinated with the revolution, everything. Which is kind of, I'm fascinated with that too. But, if I see something pretty and I like it, I will grab it. But it has to be the real deal for him to be interested in it. But she likes to decorate too. But, I'm just looking at it from the other perspective. She said when she tries to decorate the house, she'll come back in an hour later and he's rearranged it. And she says it's very frustrating.
Are they going to counseling?
No,
Seriously.
But I think, oh my goodness, I guess that's the way our husbands feel, because we just move everything around, and they don't have any say in it often. So I thought, oh wow, this is really interesting to
Bobby
think about
goes,
it.
oh, thank goodness she's done that. That's what he says.
Oh, right. Bobby, can you move
thank goodness. Or I'll say to him, can you do this for me, honey? And he's just going, and he looks at me, he says, oh, thank goodness she picked it out.
There you go.
This is the man who wore all brown and brown corduroy pants on like our third date. and it was so hot, and he had a black, no air conditioned car.
Oh, monochromatic Bobby.
I literally said to him, you really make me hot, but not in a good way. Not in a good way. It's just too hot to go out with you today.
I can't look at you in those corduroys.
How long was it before you were working on his wardrobe?
Well, you know what? This is something that I don't, if he asks me, I tell him, and I buy a lot of his clothes. But if he doesn't put the outfit together like the beautiful way I bought it, and because I enjoy doing that for him, that's a gift to him. He does so much for me, and he just doesn't like to shop. So I don't mind doing that at all. I don't say a thing. Now, I did say it once when he wore all brown and brown corduroy pants and sweltering heat, but I would never do that. I do know women who do pick at their husbands, and they say happy wife, happy life. I'm going to say happy husband, happy life, because I want my husband to be really happy, and I want him to think that he looks wonderful in my eyes. So I don't care how he dresses. He doesn't dress that bad.
Anytime I've seen Bobby, he looks spectacular.
Yeah, he really dresses really sharp.
He looked very nice when we saw them.
Yes, but I'd never tell him what to wear unless he asked. Yeah.
So what if your husband's told you, other than the florals, what if they said, no, I hate that. You got to get rid of that. Would you?
I probably
Would you get rid of it?
Yeah. But see, if he told me that all the time, maybe not so much.
Right.
But because he would just never says it. Like if he said, I'm not really wild over that, I definitely would.
Yeah.
Well, and I do try to, there's certain, he says so little. And honestly, I remember when we were first married, and I would ask him, every time I bought, any little thing, is this okay? Is this okay? And finally, he's so good about he's so happy with whatever I do. It's really wonderful. And I don't even tell him anymore. He just comes home and sees a chair, and he's like, oh,
or he trips over it, that wasn't here yesterday.
That's what I'm saying. You've got to appreciate a man who can step over a huge 3-foot box, not even ask what came in it or how much it was, and just keep going.
I so know that.
But what I am getting from all this chat is hearkening back to this great quote that I did not make up but found.
Say it again.
Good decorating is like good manners. It requires consideration of others. So it sounds like you are taking consideration of your significant others. And also, as your children were growing up, I'm sure you were taking
Oh, very
leaps
much.
and bounds to take into consideration their comfort and needs. And so if you're the head decorator in your house, then, you really have to do that to make everybody happy. And there are certainly ways to do it.
Can I tell a little story?
Sure.
And you're talking about this. When my daughter Jacqueline got married to Jonathan, and the very first weekend they came and spent the night at our house, he came down the next morning and says, "Wow, there's a lot of hydrangeas in that room." I still had hydrangea wallpaper. It was pink. It's a really girly girl room. And I said, and I just thought to myself, and I thought, yeah, it must seem pretty foreign because really now that's their room when they come here. And so I said to him, if you were going to redecorate it, Jonathan, how would you like it done? And he told me.
Wow, really? Jonathan!
And because he's got great taste.
Bring in the bold early in the morning on the first sleepover.
We had known him for like a year and a half at that point. And, we knew pretty early on that they were going to be together. But anyway, I decorated the room with him in mind.
Oh, and what did you do? So this was Jackie's former
Jackie and
bedroom.
John's room. Yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. Okay. And it's much more rich colors. It's very tailored looking. And then when Abby got married to Christopher, I asked before they got married, if I do this room over, honey, how would you like me to redo it? And she loves shabby, chippy. What do you call it? Chippy, rusty, crusty, or
rusty, crusty, chippy.
She loves that. And she's not a pink girl, thank goodness. So she chose blue. And I had the room done like I think she'd like.
Oh, that is so nice.
So and then for Evie, she wanted a lot of pink in her room when she was younger. And the deal was you can have pink whatever, but not the walls. So that was my...
They're permanent.
Right. Well, it's not permanent, but it's just too expensive to change it out. Yeah, and I said, in a few years... you're not going to be so into the pink. So she said she was glad that I put.
But what we're saying is it's really nice to get a little input.
Yes.
No matter who it is.
All your family members, but certainly, obviously, your significant other. I think that's really important.
Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh, so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. We're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about. Visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT. DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
And I'll tell you another thing I think guys like are really large plants, not like the little ones. They're a little maybe too froofy for them. But my husband loves our fiddle leaf fig tree. He thinks that's the greatest thing. And he's never commented on a plant we've had in our house. And so I was doing a little like snooping around on different sites that, especially male bloggers and things, they have beautiful large trees. And I'm thinking, yeah, that looks really, again, sleek and masculine.
Mm-hmm. That's
and
a
I had
great idea.
mentioned before hides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hides are big.
Mm-hmm.
And
Men
not
like
everybody
things like
has the
that.
room for the man cave and the she
Right.
shed and all of that. And it's, unless it's just a fun little whimsical hideaway, how much time? Well, hopefully your man or your significant other is not in a cave somewhere and you're not off in your she shed. Hopefully you're spending time together. So it really is important to incorporate the main living areas where everybody feels like they can put their feet up and relax and they don't feel like they need to have on like a little apron or a peignoir set or something like that to prance around in.
Now, who's wearing that? The guy or the girl?
That's what I'm saying. Or carrying a gun and wearing waders or something like that.
Mhm. Or fishing rods. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, well, I think
Or sports teams.
these are all excellent points
Mhm.
about how to incorporate and just be mindful of your spouse and be respectful of what he would want in the house. I think this is a great idea to kind of take his thoughts into consideration. And what you specifically do to make him happy is just dependent on those conversations you have.
And here's a little homework. Have that conversation and see what happens.
Exactly. And
See if your husband has an opinion.
right. And some of them probably don't even care. But if they do, I think it's good to kind of take that into consideration.
Yeah.
And hopefully there's not big differences to work out. Well, we've had so much fun today. This is a great topic. And really, it was interesting to hear all the thoughts and ways that you can incorporate your spouse's taste into your home. So remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.
Hey there. If you're loving our podcast like we're loving our podcast, we would love you to rate and review us. Head to iTunes to do that. It's easy and it would mean so much to us. And if you do rate and review us, we're going to enter you to win a fantastic giveaway. The details for the giveaway are in the show notes for this episode, and you can find the show notes at decoratingtipsandtricks.com.